I feel like I'm getting hammered.
I feel as though I'm being bombarded with 10 contentious calls that stun WNBA fans. From an unexpected body check to a perplexing technical foul, Caitlin Clark had to deal with it all. Are the referees truly trying to help her? Experts say there's a rhyming pattern. Caitlin Clark says her ball is in between hits. The audience erupts in excitement as Caitlin Clark takes the court. Lean Forward's attention was fixed on the rookie phenomenon. But as each game goes on, the thrill is mixed with anxiety. With every game, rumors of unjust officiating have become more prevalent, and as the ball rises, so has the scrutiny of each whistle. Clark hustles and drives, but something seems strange. Some calls that need to be made are missed, while others appear out of nowhere. The players are not the target of the crowd's jeers, but rather the referees on the sidelines. What's actually happening here? Is it just the intensity of the competition? Or are these contentious calls about Indiana by 11:54 still going on? Prepare to witness 10 instances where fans questioned NBA officiating. I promise that number 7 will leave you speechless before we break it down. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are the officials attempting to thwart Caitlin Clark's ascent to fame? Let's get started. First item on our list made supporters feel angry. Or in Caitlin Clark's case, angry and angry. The Indiana Fever versus Connecticut playoffs begin on September 22. All eyes are on the rookie wonder at the electrifying Sunday Arena. Caitlin Clark was only a short while in Dyson guard. When Bam catches Clark in the eye as Carrington goes for the ball, the audience lets out a gasp. Clark falters, but Boston is located by Carrington's whistle-silent harassment. As the game progresses, Carrington strikes Clark in the face, knocking him down. Something is obviously wrong with Clark's normally sharp eyes. She shoots icy cold, going 0 for 6 from three-point range and 1 for N from the field in the first. The Boston supporters are furious because a severe shiner formed where Carrington's fingers made contact, and she is still down after shooting a shot after the pass. Appeals for justice are exploding on social media. One irate spectator calls it the worst basketball game ever officiated, while another calls the refereeing a disgrace. Despite this, Clark continues to press, and it doesn't end there. She was shoved and hit for the entire game, yet she never received any calls. Instead, she continued to play. Take a look here. Despite having trouble with her shooting over the night, Clark tries to go around to make Clark to the rim and reverses it home during the battle. I mean, even the commentators were discussing the conflict, yet the referees did not blow their whistles. Okay, sir, that is all right, you understand, because the players are not uniting together any farther than they already are, he said. That's all right. Rim together up the rim and reversing together up the rim. Interesting. Oh, sir. Interesting that you say that because the commentators were afraid to break the rules. Describe her strategy. She modifies it and looks for additional methods to influence the game. In addition to demonstrating her tenacity, it serves as a sobering reminder of how much refereeing may influence a game's progression and even a player's safety. Another game against the Connecticut Sun on August 28th began like any other, but quickly devolved into a display of brutality that had fans wondering about the boundaries of fair play. What happens when the line between aggressive play and risky conduct blurs on the WNBA court? The rookie sensation crashed to the hardwood after receiving a crushing body check from Elisa Thomas. When the referees simply called a common foul on Thomas, take another look at the hefty contact. The crowd's collective gasp was swiftly followed by indignation. Social media erupted in outrage, with one fan claiming it wasn't basketball and another denouncing it as a cheap shot. And then, it was believed this might be the last time. Clark's performance in the aftermath of the hit was a testament to her mental toughness and unwavering focus. Despite the bruising encounter, she picked herself up, dusted off, and immediately returned to work. It was widely agreed that this should have been a flagrant foul, and the lack of a more severe call raised serious concerns about officiating in the league. Just when you thought Clark had conquered every challenge, she proceeded to make a substantial contribution to her team's efforts, displaying the tenacity that has swiftly come to define her as Thomas. Yeah, they won't look at this. They might get the fans here fired. A fresh difficulty arose from an unforeseen instructions. This is a timeout. The abrupt move of a seasoned player and an enraged rookie. What would the referees do in this off-ball situation? The game against the Seattle Storm on August 18th was already fierce, but a late-game timeout caused things to take an unexpected turn. Clark, riding high on energy of the crowd, was near the Seattle bench, piping up the fans. That's when Skylar Dean Smith decided to make her presence felt out of nowhere. Dean Smith came up behind Clark and shouldered her away. The crowd's cheers turned to gasps, then angry shouts, but the refs, they stayed silent. No whistle, no warning, nothing. This moment sparked a heated debate about sportsmanship and respect on the court. Fans were outraged, flooding social media with calls for action. Okay, by now I'm sure you've seen Skylar Diggin assault. Caitlin Clark after Indiana blew out Seattle. While Dean Smith's move went unchecked, Clark's previous display of emotion would not escape the watchful eyes of the officials. Was this sudden scrutiny fair, or a sign of something more troubling in the WNBA? The same August 18th game against the Seattle Storm was already a pressure cooker, with 7:14 left in the third quarter. Clark missed a shot and hit the padding of the basketball hoop in frustration. In a split second, the referee's whistle blew. Technical foul. Caitlin Clark gets hit with a technical. The call sparked immediate debate. Was this a simple case of personal frustration or unsportsmanlike conduct? Clark explained his reaction by saying that I received a technical for essentially being angry with myself for missing the three. I then went and hit the backboard, and he told me that it was disrespectful to the game of basketball. Despite the setback, Clark didn't let it ruin her game, but I believe he inspired me to play even harder. I felt that we improved greatly after he did that, so thank him for that. It had nothing to do with my team, their Riang, or the other team. It was just that I'm a competitor. If you've watched this far and are enjoying the video, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. He'd ignored the shove and the tech and focused on the game and the fans, with the Fever beating the Storm by 17 points and Clark scoring 20-3. Technical fouls were only the beginning of the action, as the Indiana Fever faced the Las Vegas Aces. A split-second collision would cause indignation and raise the terrifying question of how far is too far when it comes to physical play in the WNBA. We understand that watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate that. Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Sept 11. When Jackie Young's hand touched Caitlin Clark's face, the rookie sensation staggered momentarily inside the reverse O and took a big hit there on Jackie Young. The crowd's roar turned to a collective gasp. The arena erupted in shock, and social media was ablaze with outrage. This is the second time we have witnessed a heavy collision in the last minute. Although the competitor, Clark, shrugged it off and continued playing, the incident served as a clear reminder of the thin line between risky play from difficult play. Although it was a moment that left many wondering what the cost was, Clark recovered and refused to let the incident ruin her game. The Indiana Fever and Seattle Storm are engaged in a fierce duel on May 22. Just before halftime, the tension erupts. Seattle's defense appears to pummel Caitlin Clark as she drives to the basket twice, 3 times with no whistle remaining. With seconds remaining, she goes over to G, drives baseline, and has her shot blocked by E Magma. Suddenly, we're quite near. The enthusiasm of the crowd turns to incredulity, since this has been as near as it has been. Christy Sides, coach of the Indiana Fever, keeps up her crusade. We need to improve officiating so we can get some of those calls. G faces those 4 more winners side by side. The dust settles from one controversy after another. She says post-game that she is frustrated. Imagine this: a star player, a pivotal moment, and a defense that appears to have been given magical abilities. It sounds impossible. Welcome to Caitlin Clark's world on June 19th. Washington Mystics versus Indiana Fever. Clark makes her move. The anxious spectators watch her intently. When Stephanie makes contact, the ball is knocked away, and the crowd holds its breath, expecting for the whistle to blow, but it never does. Fans erupted in annoyance as Mark turned on the Jets' park to the rim and blocked his return. Social internet erupts in shock over how such clear contact could go unnoticed. Some claim it's standard rookie behavior. Because of her celebrity, some people notice a troubling trend. For example, one fan elbowing her in the face is a no call, while Clark hitting the post is a technical. Let's go back to one of Clark's first WNBA games, which took place on May 18th. This is the New York Liberty. As Caitlin Clark navigated the defense, she became the focus of yet another officiating argument. Brianna Stewart, who had 8 points and 3 assists, created a screen that sent shockwaves through the arena. The impact was blatant and the contact was forceful, but the whistle did not sound. Fans watched in shock as Clark staggered, obviously shaken by the collision. Screens are an essential component of basketball strategy. When does a good pick turn into a risky move? Social media was ablaze with calls for foul play, but the referees remained steadfast. Clark had repeatedly demonstrated her mental tenacity, but on May 20th, a routine play took a turn that would cause even the most seasoned referees to doubt their calls, as her physical limits were finally being tested. Connecticut's Sun game began well enough, but as Clark had to make her way through a hard scream, her ankle rolled, and it soon became a test of her fortitude. Fans watched in shock as the referees remained silent. No whistle, no foul call, but Clark, ever the competitor, refused to let this setback get to her. The crowd's collective gasp reverberated throughout the arena as Clark hit the floor, pain etched on her face, saying that they can stop Caitlin, better team, define her game, in spite of the evident suffering she endured, displaying the mental and physical fortitude that has come to define her. Her capacity to play through pain was a testament to her perseverance and commitment. 10 contentious calls, 10 incidents ranging from vicious body checks to phantom fouls left fans speechless and raised doubts about the WNBA's officiating integrity. Notwithstanding the obstacles, Caitlin Clark overcame them to demonstrate why she is a rising star. These incidents raise serious questions about the future of WNBA officiating. How can the league ensure fair play while maintaining the intensity fans love? What changes might we see in the upcoming seasons? We've seen the calls, we've witnessed Clark's perseverance, and you be the judge. Clark's resilience shines. Her ability to adapt and excel under pressure is nothing short of remarkable. To ensure you never miss the most recent news, click the video on the screen, leave a comment, subscribe, and enable all notifications.